Hello there, and Merry Christmas to you from the Weekend Box Office Report. I'm your host, Daniel K., and today's the Weekend Box Office Report for December 20th through 22nd, the last um, weekend before Christmas. And it was a kind of a big weekend. It was so big, even I went out and saw a movie. That's big stuff. But first of all, let's get to the new movies in the top 10. The number one movie was The Hobbit, The Desolation of Smaug, which came in last week at number one, I think, so no big deal there. Number two, this isn't great news, but Anchorman 2, The Legend Continues. If you're Will Ferrell, you've got to be thinking this was your last shot, and you only opened with 26.7 million bucks. So maybe it's time for Will to wind up back on TV again. It'll happen sooner or later anyway. Let's see the movies from Paramount. So, oh well. Maybe this is a sign that Steve Carell's career is over. I don't know. Anyway, going way, way down the chart there to number 8, Walking with Dinosaurs, also from Fox. Why did I say also from Fox? Because the first one wasn't from Fox. Nothing was from Fox until just now. Walking with Dinosaurs, which, if I'm not mistaken, is based on a stage play, which would probably be far more interesting because making dinosaurs walk on stage is almost impossible. Making them walk in movies is kind of a no-brainer. I can make dinosaurs walk, in movies. But that's probably why it only made 7 million bucks. Came in at number 9, Walking with Dinosaurs. No, number 8, Walking with Dinosaurs. Number 9, this is kind of interesting. Doom 3. Doom 3. This is the third, well, I guess the second sequel, third in a series of a Bollywood franchise about buddy cops, and it's kind of like an action picture if action pictures were directed by Bollywood people. So there's also lots of choreographed dancing and stuff. It's I haven't seen it, but it's probably about 5 or 6 hours long. Has a dozen musical numbers, and everybody is on steroids. Everybody is on steroids. Anyway, it made $3.4 million, which doesn't seem like much, except when you consider it's in a foreign language, and it only played on 239 screens. It actually did better than anything else on a per screen basis in the top 10. Made 14,000 per. So that there is a huge hit. I haven't seen. Well, I never quite got through Doom 1 yet, or Doom 2. I mean, I've seen a lot of both of them, and I even own a copy of Doom. Or is it Doom 2? I think it's Doom 2. That's right, because Doom 1 wasn't nearly as much fun as Doom 2. They hadn't pulled out all of the stops in Doom 1. In this one, they've not only pulled out the stops, they've kicked out the jams. I bet. Because they've got to keep topping themselves. God only knows what that thing's like. I urge you to go out and see it if you have 3 spare hours. And this time of the year, you probably don't. All right, so I'm scrolling now. You probably cannot see what's behind me on that screen. There's a thing, but that's about it. At the very, very, very bottom of the chart, all the way down, is The Last Days on Mars from Magnolia Pictures. Know nothing about it, except that it made $302 on one screen somewhere in this nation. If you want new movies, because Last Days on Mars has been out for 3 weeks or 13 days. No, it must be 3 weeks. Yeah, 3 weeks. Okay. The newest failed premiere is Maiden Trip from First Run Pictures. Maiden Trip made 100 bucks. $1,622. Also on one screen for the Maiden Trip. So that's it. Next week, all these numbers are going to be blown away by whatever comes out. It's probably coming out tomorrow on Christmas Day. Because believe me, if you're cooped up with your family for a week, you want to get out there, away from the house, and escape. Even if they're right next to you, at least you can pretend they're not. So that will be a huge, huge, huge box office blowout. And I'll tell you about it then. Thank you very much for watching the Weekend Box Office Report. See you next week.